Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we are so delighted that you welcomed us into your home. You know, we would love to hear from you. So send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. And remember, you can always listen to our show as a podcast. Maybe you're out doing some yard work, which is what I like to do, and I'll play a podcast. And you can go out to EWTN.com/radio/podcast, or wherever you happen to listen to your podcasts. Now today, we're welcoming Sister Emma and Sister Amanda Magdalena of the Servants of the Pierced Hearts of Jesus and Mary. The Servants of the Pierced Hearts of Jesus and Mary is a religious family founded by Mother Adela Galindo in the Archdiocese of Miami in 1990. And they are religious sisters, brothers, and priests, and they are dedicated to evangelization and the formation of the human heart to build a new civilization. The world needs this, of love and life and truth and solidarity in the heart of the church and the heart of the world. Thus, to give triumph to the pierced hearts of Jesus and Mary. Mother Adela also founded the lay branch of their spiritual family, which is spread throughout many countries around the world. And today they're going to be here with us to share about the beauty of their Marian charism and how to bring the triumph of the pierced hearts to all of our hearts. Now, I do want to say, go out to their website first, piercedhearts.org. For this Christmas, what we bought ourselves, our Christmas gift to each other, was 2 pictures, one of Jesus and one of the Blessed Mother, with their sacred hearts exposed.
Sacred Heart, Immaculate Heart piercings. Yeah.
Yes. And we bought them at EWTNRC.com. And beautiful Veronica was selling these one day on display. And I was like, I want them in my home. I knew it was going to be a purchase. So I saved for, it was birthday, Christmas, anniversary, you know, and then they were at our dining room table. We put them in our dining room. So that Thanksgiving, when all of that Christmas, when all of the children were there, we were able to talk about the love and the sacrifice and the beauty of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary.
What a blessing on the Feast of the Annunciation today to have with us the Servants of the Pierced Hearts of Jesus and Mary. Something very ancient, something very new. This is a sign of renewal. These sisters are indeed servants, happy servants, servants renewed by the power of the Holy Spirit, and just moving in the power of those 2 hearts of Mary and Jesus. A lot more to come. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, our guests today are Sister Emma and Sister Amanda Magdalena of the Servants of the Pierced Hearts of Jesus and Mary. Go out to their website, piercedhearts.org. Well, beautiful, holy ladies, we are excited to have you with us. We want you first to tell our family about your community, its history, and your beautiful foundress.
Of course. Thank you so much for inviting us to be here. This is a great blessing for us to be able to share what the Lord is doing for the good of souls. That's what we really feel is the call that the Lord has given us. We are the Servants of the Pierced Hearts of Jesus and Mary, founded by Mother Adela Galindo. And it's a beautiful work of love of God, the way that He called our mother founders to begin this new charism in the heart of the church.
How did He do that? How did He call her?
Yeah, so our mother foundress always tells us that she's been Marian her entire life, from the moment of her conception through her childhood, when she was a young girl, Our Lady led her to encounter the charismatic renewal. And then years later, when she was living in Miami, she was in charge of her youth group there at the parish, and she would take them on mission trips to do service. And in 1984, while in the Dominican Republic, they began their mission, consecrating the mission in a Marian shrine. And at the end of the mission, they went to a different Marian shrine to consecrate the fruits of the mission. And it was while they were in the Marian shrine at the end of the mission that she had this sense that Our Lady was asking her to do an exchange of hearts with her, for our Mother Foundress to give Our Lady her heart, and Our Lady to, in turn, give our Mother Foundress her heart to live the mission of the pelican. And the pelican is an ancient symbol of the Church, representing Christ, who allowed his heart to be pierced to then give life to others. So she returned home to Miami. She was a university student. She continued her studies, continued working, and continuing growing in her relationship with the Lord. And a year later, in August of 1985, she was once again in the Dominican Republic in the same Marian shrine, and was moved to do private vows between herself and the Lord. And in that moment, she perceived our Lord telling her, "Let me pierce your heart so that others may have life." And she didn't fully understand it in that moment, but a few weeks later, back in their group at the parish, some other young women came up to her and they told her, we want to follow you, we want to do what you're doing. And so she heard this, and she took everything to the Archbishop of Miami at the time to present it to him for his discernment. And they lived a few years praying, discerning what was it that the Lord was doing. And in 1990, they presented all of their prayers, their discernments to the Archbishop, who turned to our Mother Foundress, and he told her, "It seems like a new charism of religious life is being born in the heart of the Church, and this makes you its foundress." And so from 1990 until today, our community has continued to grow.
To flourish and grow. And she's still alive, and she lives in Miami, and you beautiful ladies are here, and you're stationed, your community is here in Birmingham, but you're all over the world, right? Yes. And so, Sister Emma, you were telling us about how when your Mother Foundress met with Mother Angelica. Tell our family that story.
Yes, our Mother Foundress was able to visit her and ask her for prayers, because the Lord is beginning this work. And a word that Mother Angelica said to our Mother Foundress, "You are called to go far and beyond." And at the beginning of our foundation, of course, we were just in one diocese. We were seeing, our Mother Foundress was seeing like how the Lord was taking us to different places, and now we see that the Lord is taking us to so many places. And we take that as a prophecy. So yes. For us, it's so close to our hearts.
Yeah. Yes. Well, this is, like I was trying to say at the beginning of the show, that this is all very ancient, very old, and yet it's very new, you know, in terms of the renewal of this, or deepening of this in your lives, in your community's life. It's so powerful. And I did have to look up, I was saying this before the show, because I saw on your website all the places you were. So I said, well, this has to be in existence for many years. And I said, well, I guess I better know if the Foundress is still alive or not, because I think she's old. But she's young.
She's young.
Many years younger than me. So God was very concerned about this charism and that it go forth. That's pretty obvious, and sparing so much fruit. Go a little deeper with us about this charism and how it works. I keep hearing about the motherhood of Mary in every aspect, in every place, in what you do, because you're ministering in all different areas. It's just not like you have a house here and a house there, and you're there in a life of prayer. You are in a life of prayer, but you're very active in schools, in parishes, in other places, in every aspect, bringing the love of the Lord and the gospel of life to people. What's this motherhood of Mary everywhere?
Yeah, so we are a Marian charism, and our Mother Foundress always explained to us that it was not something that she become to learn in her life. She said, Our Lady have been guiding me. And she said, I can go back, and I say, like, since the day I was born. And she said, like, I can even say, like, even in the moment of my conception, I know that Our Lady have been always guiding me. And that's why when the moment came for the Lord to reveal to our mother founders her vocation, for her was not something that she was going to begin to learn. Her heart was Marian. And actually, when our mother founder was 7 years old, she did a promise to our Blessed Mother.
She was how old?
7 years old. A little girl in school. She said, Blessed Mother, I will never say no to you. Whatever you ask me to do, I will do it. Because of that love, that relationship that she had since her childhood. So our mother said, kind of like in a funny way, that's why Jesus sent his mother first to do the exchange of heart. Because the promise that Our Lady gave to our mother founder was, let me give you my heart so you may respond to the call of my son. And our mother founder said that she knew, Jesus knew, so that's why he asked Our Lady to give me her heart. So by the time that he asked, let me pierce your heart for others to have life, our mother founder said yes, because she already gave her heart to Our Lady. So it was always through Our Lady. Everything that we do, everything that we are, is through our Blessed Mother, and it's something that our mother founder is in her nature, is in who she is. So she was able to make it the nature and the essence of our charism. And that's something that we learn. And actually, it's a grace too, right? When the Lord called us to be part of this religious family, it becomes part of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sister Amanda, why don't you tell our family your personal calling? Like, how did you get called into this community?
Absolutely. So I had never met a religious before. I grew up going to public schools. And when I was a freshman in college, I was asked to serve a diocesan retreat for high school girls. And it was on this retreat that the community, the servants of the pierced hearts of Jesus and Mary, were invited to come and share about vocations. And we invited them to talk, and they saw that we needed help. And immediately they stepped in, they started serving. And my heart was so struck by that moment. And I always thought that I was going to have, I'll be able to talk to them once we get through the day, they'll be around. And then they disappeared, but they didn't disappear for long. I had a few more encounters with them throughout my years in college. I studied accounting, I graduated. And when I was a senior in college, I applied to be a missionary. The Lord had really placed this missionary zeal in my heart. And about a month and a half before graduation, I learned back from the missionary company, that I was not going to be serving with them that following year. And so I really had to start turning to the Lord, and I had to begin asking fundamental questions to the Lord. Lord, what is your plan for my life? Because I tried to tell you my plan, and the door has closed. And in that time, I was in preparation actually to do a Marian consecration, which I ended up doing on the Solemnity of the Annunciation back in the year 2019. And so I just kept asking the Lord, what is the fiat you're asking me to give you? And I graduated. I took a full-time job in a tax firm. I had a degree in accounting. I started checking all the boxes that the world told me that I needed to check. And I was unfulfilled with the work that I was doing. And I found that no matter what I was doing in the church, that the Lord was bringing me greater joy. He was fulfilling my heart in a deeper way. But I knew that he wasn't simply asking me to work for the church. And I realized that he wasn't simply asking for me to give him 2 years of my life as a missionary, but he was asking for all of my life for the rest of my life. And so I continued asking these fundamental questions. Lord, what is it that's important to my own spiritual life? How have you created my heart to love? And through asking these questions, I had the opportunity to visit Miami, to meet our mother foundress, to spend a moment of prayer in our Mother House Chapel. And I knew that I was home when I had that opportunity. And so I came, I did a long visit. The Lord confirmed in my heart that, yes, this is where I'm calling you to belong. And so I quit my job. I left the world behind. I left behind everything that they were good things, but the Lord was offering me a greater good. which was my vocation. And so I then entered the community in 2020 and was able to give him my fiat through my profession of vows back in 2023.
So beautiful. Thank you for your grand yes. Thank you. Thank
Sister,
you.
how about you? You know, how did you connect with this community?
Yeah, so when I was 17, I had this personal encounter with the Lord. You know, sometimes we call it like a time of a moment of conversion, because I was Catholic. I was born and raised Catholic, and my family practiced their faith. But I didn't, until that moment, I didn't have that personal encounter with the Lord. So I experienced that when I was 17. And I discovered in that moment, when I had that experience, that the Lord was the one who will, because I always felt emptiness. Like everything that I had until that moment in my life, I felt like it was not enough. So I experienced that fullness to being in God's presence, in the grace of the life in grace. And then immediately I felt that God was calling me to give myself totally to Him through the consecrated life. And I remember praying and say, Lord, if you're calling me to religious life, I don't know where to go. I don't know any religious sisters, so please help me. And actually, I remember, I think I heard that there's a Catholic channel. Let me look, and I start changing channels, going in front of the TV, say, maybe I found it. And I was clipping, like going through different channels to see if I can find the Catholic channel that I heard existed. This was in 1998. And I said, well, I didn't find anything. I said, Lord, you're going to guide me to find what you want for the plan that you have for my life. I was very involved with the charismatic group, and they invited us to go to an Advent retreat that was happening. And our mother foundress was one of the keynote speakers.
Wow.
And I remember they were presenting her, and it called me my attention that she was from the same country that I was born, in Nicaragua. And I said, oh my goodness, she's from the same country. And then she began to give her talk about the pierced hearts of Jesus and Mary. And I said, everything that she's saying is like so close to me. And one of the things that in that moment I didn't understand, but I felt that her voice, I heard her voice before. It's like when Jesus said in the gospel, the sheep recognize the voice of the shepherd. So my soul was recognizing the voice of my mother foundress, like in the plan of God, right? That He knew my vocation, He knew what my mother foundress. My soul was able to perceive that. And I always said that was a love at the first sight.
Beautiful.
I was in love with the sisters, and because I felt that was the answer of my prayers. I asked the Lord, can you show me where you want me? And then I got in contact with them. I got involved with the youth group, and I was always sharing with them. I learned the charism. So I had to finish high school. I did a semester in college, and then I joined the convent.
We're going to have to go to a break at this point. Beautiful testimonies. We're going to hold you over for the final segment. As the sister said, that the Lord had said to her, I want all of your life for the rest of your life. And that's true for sisters and for priests and religious. It's also true for us. And so hopefully we'll hear more about that, discerning our own vocation, knowing our vocation, and giving all of our life for the rest of our lives, however God's calling us to do that. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. We're finishing our conversation with Sister Emma and Sister Amanda Magdalena. So we're speaking about your own call into this, and maybe you can just share with us, young people discerning a possible call to the religious life, what that would look like in your particular institute, Sister.
Absolutely. So I remember for me, it actually even began with someone else asking me first, have you ever thought about religious life? Are you going to become a sister? And that planted a seed in my heart when I was 18 years old that I never forgot that conversation. And so even if you're not in a place where you're going to be discerning, if you see something in someone else, posing that question to them. For those then that are discerning, there's a lot of different opportunities, but first and foremost, growing closer to the sacraments, attending Mass, receiving Jesus in the Eucharist, spending time before Him in the Blessed Sacrament, going to confession, because we need to be able to hear Jesus' voice to then be able to respond to Him. Right. There's different opportunities for our community. We, in the different dioceses where we serve here around the country, we have what we call Fiat Vocational Discernment Retreats. And so they are a weekend lived with us, learning about who we are, about the vows that we take as religious. And then from there as well, just beginning conversation. If you know a religious, asking them about their life, asking them about a day in their life, and serving alongside them whenever possible. I know that was a joy for my heart. I was able to serve alongside the sisters at my parish for the 1.5 years before I entered the community. And that helped me grow in my conviction that this is what the Lord is calling me to do. And throughout that 1.5 years, it was small steps. It was, okay, the Lord is asking me for this. I'm going to take one step forward. Okay, Lord, you opened another door. I still have peace. I still have joy. Okay, I'm going to take another step through another door. It was never, I thought about becoming a sister and I entered the convent the next day, but it was, okay, the door is open. Let me take one small step forward. Okay, the door is still open. Let me take another step forward. And it was through asking these fundamental questions that our Mother Foundress teaches us to do that I was able to recognize that the Lord had created my heart for this vocation, had created my heart to be consecrated totally to Him.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank God we have tomorrow to continue to unpack this great work of the servants of the pierced hearts of Jesus and Mary. So be sure to join us tomorrow to continue our conversation on the servants of the pierced hearts of Jesus and Mary. And if you feel some kind of inkling through the witness and testimony of what our Blessed Mother had done in their lives to prepare the way to give their lives in entirety for the rest of their lives, and they're very happy about it. Sometimes I think the pierced heart of Jesus, that sounds pretty painful, but it must be painfully wonderful. And so you can always go to the piercedhearts.org, piercedhearts.org. You're an important part of this family. You're never alone. You're always at home with Jim and Joy. Bye now.